Hey guys, we're in the car in Sardinia and we're on our way to discover some brilliant wine farms.
Wine farms.
This would be my first experience of a Sardinian winery and also my first ever trip to a vineyard in Italy. We're headed to a small family-run winery called Tenute Olbios, located about 20 kilometers from the town of Olbia. The ancient town of Olbia was founded by the Greeks in the 8th century BC, and the name Olbia comes from the Greek word Olbios, which means blissful, blessed and happy. A pretty appropriate name for a wine farm then. The surrounding region is called Gallura, which is an important winemaking region in Sardinia. Winemaking here has been going on for at least 4,000 years. They've even found the ancient amphora as evidence. And it was very common for Sardinians to own a small vineyard in their back gardens so that they could make wine for themselves. Winemaking might be an ancient practice here, but it's only in the last couple of decades that winemaking as a business has really taken off, and that Sardinian wines have been exported to the rest of the world. So, after getting lost a couple of times along the road, we finally arrived at the Tenute Olbios winery. And we're just waiting for the rest of our group to come, and then we're going to start the vineyard tour. The first part of the tour takes us into the vineyard, where Chiara talks us through some of the organic farming practices used on the farm. The rose bushes you see there are planted at the end of each row to catch any disease before it spreads to the vines. 90% of the vines at Tenute Olbios are Vermentino plantings, and the granite soil here in the Gallura region is perfect for making wines with that distinctive mineral taste. For 3 generations, the Maloney family has been growing grapes at Tenute Olbios, which they would sell to other wineries. But since 2005, they've been making their own wine, which we're about to go and taste. On our way to the tasting room, we stopped for a quick look at the cellar to see where the Tenute Olbios DOCG status Vermentino is made. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to film there. Next up, the wine tasting. A gorgeous platter of local meats, cheeses, bread and olives were laid out to go with the selection of wines we were about to enjoy. The blue cheese made from sheep's milk was by far my favourite. Chiara introduces us to our first wine, the Cave. She describes this rosé wine as a red wine made as a white because the Cannonau grape skins were left in contact with the wine for one night only. Look at that beautiful deep colour. This is ultimate summer drinking wine. It's light to medium-bodied with cherry, mineral and slightly savoury aromas, and also has some pétillance. Pétillance means that there's a slight spritz to it. These gentle bubbles are naturally occurring and are a result of carbon dioxide being left in the wine after fermentation. All Tenute Olbios' wines are closed using this nifty glass cork, which completely seals the wine, not letting in any oxygen. A beautiful alternative to a screw cap, don't you think? Next, we tried the Lupus in Fabula Vermentino. Lupus in Fabula means the wolf in the fable and is a full-bodied white wine with a wonderful deep straw colour. During winemaking, the wine was left on the lees for 8 months, which means that the dead yeast cells were left in the wine to give it a richer mouthfeel and more complex aromas. Our final wine was the Vino Veritas Vermentino, which means in wine, the truth. I love this philosophy because it gives me justification to drink more wine. Not that I needed it. Now this wine definitely wins the prize for the most interesting wine I tried in Sardinia. This is an aged white wine and it's a 2007 vintage, making it 9 years old. The wine was aged for a whopping 7 years before being bottled, and for 30 months of that time, the wine was left on the lees. The wine has a very deep colour and on the palate is very reminiscent of the yeasty bitterness of a dry sherry. This is definitely a winter white wine and definitely one you'd want to enjoy with a meal or with tapas. All of Tenute Olbios' wines are made and matured in stainless steel tanks, except for a very small portion of this in Vino Veritas wine, of which 5% is transferred to third fill oak barrels for 24 months. So we've just left Olbia after a wonderful tour of Tenute Olbios, where we tasted 3 incredible wines. It was a really wonderful, intimate experience, and I really got to know so much about Sardinian wine, as well as how they make wine at Tenute Olbios. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. Please leave your comment, follow me on Twitter, etc, etc. And see you next week for another video. Bye guys, and happy drinking.